Here's a New Year's resolution I think you can pull off if you have the right mindset, and that's spend less money on video games. It's something I've been doing for quite some time now. In fact, in 2020, I'm even contemplating the idea of spending no money on video games. Now, the reason for this personally for me is the large back catalog that I've built up of not only Xbox One, but Xbox 360 games that I really want to get around to playing. And if you haven't built up a large back catalog like me, maybe you're a Game Pass subscriber or you've been a Gold subscriber for a while and you've got a back catalog built up because of those digital subscriptions. So I think that a lot of us have a lot more games to play than we realize. So I want to share with you some tips on maybe how to spend less money on video games without necessarily going as far into not buying any or playing a back catalog, but just how you can get them for cheaper. And obviously, the first way to do so is just to wait. It's staggering to me nowadays as AAA games come out for $60 and a month later, they are half the price. The price drops on games seem to get quicker and quicker, but if you're someone that wants the game relatively soon, maybe you can only wait a week, it's just killing you. Maybe it's a story-heavy game, you don't want to see too many spoilers. Buying it on eBay is a fantastic way to do so. When you buy a used copy on eBay, typically even a week after it's just came out, you can get them around $45. And of course, it's used, but still cheaper than you'd spend at GameStop. Typically, recently released games will run you $55 at GameStop, but around $45 typically on eBay. Plus, then we have the notion that you should buy physical games as opposed to digital ones. And this is something that I've pushed for a long time. I'm a big supporter of physical media because it gives me something at the end to be able to sell. Whether I sell it on eBay, whether I sell it to GameStop and obviously take less money that way, or even sell it on something like the Facebook Marketplace, the ability to get money back out of a game after I am done is the reason why I will never commit to all digital in terms of how I want to have my game collection. Plus, I think it looks great up on the shelf, so I highly recommend purchasing physical games. Also for the reason that they seem to go on sale more often. Those sales I mentioned where, maybe in a month the game is half the cost. That's not really the way you typically see it digitally, but is so frequently the way you would see it at a store like Best Buy or Target or even GameStop as promotions run their course. Next, I want to remind you that while free-to-play games can be appealing in the fact that they're free, you have to keep in mind that no, you don't need to spend $60 on microtransactions just because the game was supposed to have costed you $60. This is the sort of frame of mind that some people use when purchasing microtransactions, and I think that it's somewhat of a flawed one, but if it's the idea that you want to subscribe to, I guess go right ahead. However, I would recommend you disconnect your credit or debit card from your Xbox account and strictly rely on using the prepaid little gift card dealios, because that's going to save you money in the long run when you add in the factor that it is more complicated to make the purchase of the microtransaction, of the digital game, of the DLC and whatnot. If it's a more involved process, you'll be more likely to make the purchasing decision that's best for you and not just simply buy something on impulse, which I think is too easy to do when you have those cards connected to your account. And to that regard, oftentimes buying those gift cards for things like Xbox or PSN in order to add credit to your account can actually come at discounts of their own. I know recently Target ran a deal where it was like buy one gift card, get 10% off the next one, which resulted in, if you bought two $20 Xbox gift cards, a net savings of $2, which is, not really much of anything, but it's something that gets you an extra couple bucks off whatever digital game you're buying. Also, if you're willing to use a website like CD Keys, which is something that I do, you can buy like $25 Xbox gift cards on there. You can pay with PayPal, and it'll cost you like $23 to get a $25 gift card. And again, you're getting a couple extra bucks for free just because you purchased it through a gift card rather than going that direct and convenient route. And then the last one, what I consider to be the most important is to take advantage of the games that came out earlier in the generation. As you saw in this video, I'm playing Just Cause 3, which is a game that I've really been enjoying recently, but it came out a few years ago, and to that regard, it was just $10 when I bought it at GameStop this summer, and possibly even less now. I'm sure on eBay, it's around that $7 or $8 mark that it seems to consistently hit on digital game sales, and it's one of many games that I think provide a great experience on current gen hardware, but are pretty inexpensive just due to the fact that the game came out a few years ago already. And you take a look at the Xbox 360, so many fantastic games on there that are playable on the Xbox One, that because the games came out years ago, even though it's a killer game, you're thinking about like the BioShock collection, which of course got HD remastered, but do you really need the HD remaster? It gives you the opportunity to spend just a couple bucks on what are some great games. Over the summer, our pawn shop was just clearing out all the Xbox 360 and PS3 games, and I bought so many games for $1. They literally had everything just straight up 99 cents, and there were so many games that were maybe in the $10 to $20 range from that generation. Things like, the different Spider-Man games on the Xbox 360 that had really held their value because maybe there wasn't that many copies printed or whatnot. And I finally got the opportunity to purchase them for only $1 each rather than, $10 to $20 because I wasn't looking to spend that much on a 360 game that I didn't know when I'd get around to playing. So that's another part of, the games that I have to go through here in 2020 is there were just so many games that I was able to pick up for $1, and I think we're going to see more and more stores doing that, including the potential that GameStop will do that in 2020, clear out some of that PS3 and Xbox 360 stock. They've been doing it slowly through different promotions, but I expect that sometime, maybe at the end they run a really aggressive campaign and, put everything down to $1 or something crazy like that. I remember towards the end of the PlayStation 2, or really the final days of the PlayStation 2 at GameStop, I was buying games at my GameStop 10 for $1. It was like all the PS2 games that were less than $5 were clearanced out for $1 each. And then once that phase got over, they ended up making it be 10 games for $1. So I walked out of there with just stacks. I mean, I'm talking 50, 60 PlayStation 2 games, and I paid like $5 or $6. It was absolutely insane. And we're getting towards the end of this current generation, and maybe we'll see another deal like that cycle through GameStop, even though they've been slowly weeding down their stock in the meantime. Well, thank you guys for watching. I'm Bailey. I hope you have a great 2020, and I will see you in the next video.